They make their protest quickly. 20 coffins delivered to the EU delegation in Delhi. These demonstrators claim a new free trade agreement between India and Europe will end the production of cheap medicines for the poor, jeopardizing millions of lives.
Had you signed this deal, you're going to need this coffin. So that's why we give as a present to European Union. Because your deal is going to kill lots of people who are relying on Indian generic drugs.
Why is the European ambassador in India lying?
A European Union representative emerged to take the protesters' petition, but he told me he wasn't authorized to speak and no one else was available to comment.
These people say millions of people will die across the developing world as a direct result of the policies of your delegation.
I'm not in a position to give any comment.
India is known as the pharmacy of the developing world. Its drug companies copy patented medicines, ignoring the copyrights of the pharmaceutical giants. The generic drugs have saved millions of lives on every continent. Branded medicines are simply unaffordable in countries like South Africa. Loon Gante is HIV positive. He says if the Indian courts start prosecuting the generic drug companies, it will be people like him who die.
2 pills a day. I've been taking for the last 8 years, and I have to take as long as that I live.
And this is a generic?
And this is generic made in India. And this cost me £130 per year.
And how much if it's non-generic for 1 year, for one person?
If it's a branded drugs, it will cost about £7,000 per year.
Activists accuse the pharmaceutical companies of profiteering, despite EU assurances that the manufacture of generic drugs for life-threatening illnesses will not be affected.
These rallies are now taking place around the world, and the activists here say they'll keep on campaigning until cheap generic drugs are protected for the world's poor. Now, many of the people in this crowd are HIV positive, and they say this battle is a matter of life and death. The free trade agreement, as it stands, is a death sentence.
The free trade agreements will give India cheaper access to European markets and goods. In return, they'll have to respect the property rights of the drug companies. But campaigners say it all comes at the expense of lives. Alex Rossi, Sky News, Delhi.